Heart of wrought steel, murmured Starbuck, gazing over the side of and following with his eyes the receding boat. Canst thou yet bring boldly to the sight, lowering thy keel among raven sharks, and follow by them open mouthed to the chase? And this critical third day, for when 3 days flow together in a continuous, intense pursuit, be sure the first is the morning, and the second the noon, and the third in the evening, and the end of that thing, be that what it may. Oh my God! What is this that shoots from me, leaves me so deadly calm, yet expectant, fixed at the top of a shutter? Future things swim before me, as in the empty outlines of the skeletons. All the past is somehow grown dim. Mary, girl, thou fadest in pale glories behind me. Boy, I seem to see but thy eyes grown wondrous blue. Strangest problems of life seems clearing, but clouds sweep between. Is my journey's end coming? My legs feel faint, like his who hath footed it all day. Fill thy heart, beat it yet, stir thyself. Starbuck, stave it off. Move, move, speak aloud, masthead there. See my boy's hand on the heel, crazed aloft there. Keep thy keenest eye upon the boats, mark well the whale. Ho again, drive off in the hawk. See the pecks of tears in the vein, pointing to the red flags flying over the main truck. Ha, the sore's away with it. Where's the old man now? Seest thou that sight? Oh, Ahab, shudder, shudder. Boats had not gone very far when by signal from the mastheads downward pointed arm, Ahab knew that the whale had sounded, but intending to be near him in the next rising, he held on this way to a little sideways from the vessel, the bench arm crew maintaining the profoundest silence as the head-beat waves hammered against the opposing blow. Drive, drive in your nails, O ye waves, to their uttermost heads. Drive them in. You but strike a thing without a lid, and no coffin and no hearse can be mine, and hemp can only kill me. Suddenly the waters around them seemed slowly swelled on broad circles, then quickly upheaved as if sideways sliding from the submerged verge of ice. Swiftly rising to the surface, a low rumbling sound was heard, a subterraneous hum, and then all held their breaths as bedraggled with railing ropes and harpoons and lances, fast, shot lengthwise but opaquely from the sea, shrouded in a thin, dropping veil of mist. It hovered over a moment in the rain-bowed air, and then fell, whomping back in the deep, crushing 30 feet upwards. The waters flashed for an instant like heaps of fountains, then brokenly sank in a shower of flakes, leaving the circling surface screamed like new milk around the marble trunk of a whale. So Moby Dick has come up, and may not have mentioned this before, but there are more boats other than the Pequod, and so Moby Dick has come up and he's jumped into the air and landed on one of the boats. Give way, cried Ahab on the oarsmen, and the boats darted forward to the attack. But maddened by yesterday's fresh irons that cordowed in him, Moby Dick seemed combiningly possessed by all the angels that fell from heaven. The wide tiers of welded tendons overspreaded his broad white forehead beneath the transparent skin, looked knitted together as head-on he came churning his tail among the boats, and once more flailed them apart, spilling out the irons and lances from the two mates' boats, and dashing in one side of the upper part of their bows, but leaving Ahab's boat almost without a scar. While Dago and Queequeg were stopped in the straining blanks, and the whale swimming out from them turned and showed one entire flank as he shot by them. At the moment a quick cry went up and lashed around and round to the flesh black, pinned in the turns upon the turns which during the past the whale had reeled in involutions, and lined around the half-torn body of the parse was seen, and the sable raiment frayed to shreds, his thin eyes turned upon the old Ahab. The harpoon dropped from his hand. Be fooled, drawing in a long, lean breath. Aye, Parsi, I see thee again. Aye, thou goest before, and this, then, the hearse of thou didst promise. But I told thee in the last letter of thy word were the second hearse. Away, mates, to the ship. Those boats are useless now. Repair them if ye can in time, and return to me. If not, Ahab is enough to die. Down, men, the first thing that but offers to jump from the boat I stand in, and that thing I harpen. Ye are not other men, but my arms and my legs, and so obey me. Where's the whale? Gone down again? So Ahab, when Moby Dick is looking at Ahab, he has a corpse from one of the men that was on the other ship, has it on his back. And Ahab compares him to a hearse. But he looked too high for the boat, for as if he'd been upon the escaping with the corpse he bore, and as if the particular place of this last encounter had been but a stage in the leeward voyage, Moby Dick was now again steadily swimming forward, and had almost passed the ship, which thus far had been sailing in the contrary direction to him. Though for the present her headway had been stopped, he seemed swimming with the utmost velocity, and now only intent upon pursuing his own straight path to the sea. "Oh, Ahab," cried Starbuck, "not too late it is, even now, the third day to deset. See, Moby Dick seeks thee not. It is thou that madly seekest him." So he's saying Moby Dick doesn't want us. He wants you. Setting sail to the rising wind, the lonely boat was swiftly impelled to leeward by both oars and canvas, and the last, when Ahab was sliding by the vessel so near as plainly to distinguish Starbuck's face as he leaned over the rail, he hailed him to turn the vessel about and follow him, not too swiftly, as judicious interval, glancing upwards as he saw Testigo, Queequeg, and Dago eagerly mounting the three mastheads, while the oarsmen were rocking in the two staved boats which had been hoisted to the side, and were busily at work with repairing them, one after the other, through the portholes as the sped, as also caught flying glimpses of Stubb and Flask busying themselves on deck among bundles of new irons and lances. As he saw all this, as he heard the hammers in the broken boats, far other hammers seemed driving a nail into his heart. But he railed, and now marking that the vane or flag was gone in the main masthead, he shouted to Testigo, who had just gained that perch, to descend again for another flag, and hammer nails, and so nail it to the mast. So he notices the flag's missing, and he's asking them to, this, to a ship, the flag is a statement piece. Whether tagged by 3 days running chase and the resistance to his swimming in the knotted hamper he bore, or whether it was some latent deceitfulness and malice in him, whichever was true, the white whale's way now began to abate, as it seemed, from the boat so rapidly nearing him once more. Though indeed the whale's last start had not been so long a one as before, and still as Ahab glided over the waves and unpitying sharks accompanying them, and so pertinaciously stuck to the boat, so continually bit the plying oars that the blades became jagged and crunched and left small splinters in the sea at almost every dip. Heed them not. Those teeth but give new rowlocks for your oars. Pull on. 'Tis better rest the shark's jaw than yielding water. At every bite, sir, the thin blades grow smaller and smaller. They will last long enough. Pull him in. Who can tell, he muttered, whether these sharks swim to feast on the whale or on Ahab. But pull on, aye, all alive now. We near them. The helm. Take to the helm. Let me pass. And so saying, two of the oarsmen helped him forward to the bows of the still flying boat. At length, as the craft was cast to one side and ran wrangling along with the white whale's flank, he seemed strangely oblivious to its advance, as the whales sometimes will, and Ahab was fairly within the smoky mountain mist which, thrown off from the whale's spout, curled around the great Monadnock hump, as even thus close to him, when with body arched back and both arms lengthwise high lifted to the poise, he darted his fierce iron in this far fiercer curse into the hated whale, as both steel and curse sank to the socket, as if socked into the morasses. Moby Dick sideways withheld, spasmodically, rolled his nigh flank against the bow, and without staving a hole in it, so suddenly canted the boat over, that had it not been for the elevated part of the gunwale to which he then clung, Ahab would once more have been tossed into the sea. As it was, three of the oarsmen, who foreknew not the precise instant of the dart, and were therefore unprepared for its effects, these were flung out, but so fell that in an instant two of them clutched to the gunwale again, and rising it into the level of the combing wave, hurled themselves bodily on board again. Then the third man helplessly dropped eastern, but still afloat and swimming. Almost simultaneously with the mighty violation of ungraduated instantaneousness swiftness, the white whale darted through the watering sea. But then Ahab cried out to the steersman to take new turns with the line and hold it so, and commanded the crew to turn around to their seats and tow the boat to the mark. The moment the treacherous line felt the double strain and tug, it snapped in the empty air.